All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people of freedom all over the world. Wherever you're joining us from today, you're highly welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform. This is Let's Talk TV, your one and only YouTube platform where you get the quality news and information on all the activities happening in Biafran territory. So if you're looking for a place to get updated news and information on the Biafran struggle, if you're looking for a place to get all the broadcasts of the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá, if you're looking for a place to get all the information concerning Onyendo Mazinamde Kanu, who is still under the DSS custody, where he was, abducted by the Nigerian government, and then for the past 2 years, he has been under the DSS dungeon. On Let's Talk TV, we'll make sure we'll give you all those news and information. But meanwhile, let us go straight to the issue on ground. Now, the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá has actually been on the roller coaster. He has been moving from one state or one country to the other, trying to make sure that more awareness, are being made, and also to raise more funds for the Biafran struggle. Freedom is not gotten by just sitting or just going out to fight. Freedom has entered another level. You need to relate. You need to form allies. You need funds, especially funds. You need as many as possible in order to get freedom. And the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá, who understands what freedom fighting is all about. He understands what freedom fighting is all about. It's not just about coming out to rant or coming out to make noise. He understands the pattern of fighting for freedom and what is on stake. And that brings me to the discussion of today. The video you're about to watch, you'll be shocked on what the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá did. The Prime Minister Simon Èkpá is already working with some American congressmen, among other international, international bodies. Do not forget that a particular freedom fighter also in, I think, America also referenced the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá on how he has been fighting for the freedom of Biafra. So for those of you who feel, the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá is doing this, is destroying the image of, to hell with you all. That man has done more than enough. Even though he decides to stop now, he has created history. You might take it, you might not take it, but that's on you. But this is the reality. Simon Èkpá has created history. Simon Èkpá is the man to give us that freedom that we so desire. That is just the reality. And Simon Èkpá is doing everything within his power and within his jurisdiction, to make sure that freedom comes to Onyendo Mazinamde Kanu. So whatever you think, whatever you believe, whatever you feel about him is totally on you. But that will not change who he is. That will not change him from doing the needful. And that will not stop him to continue to fight for freedom. Watch this video. And make sure you share this video to those that have failed to believe in Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. Makandene Ekpebe, Kahabido Petawa. Let them know and let them also see what this man is doing on his own. On that note, enjoy this wonderful video and do not forget to share it to as many groups and platforms as possible.
And welcome our Prime Minister, His Excellency, Mazi Simon Èkpá. My special greetings and welcome to our special guests in our midst today. I greet and welcome our honorable cabinet members, ministers, representatives, and administrators. Welcome to our Biafra de facto government homeland. I salute and honor all United States of Biafra Armed Forces and Navy. I greet and welcome all Biafrans all over the world, Biafrans at home and in diaspora, and all our friends and supporters of Biafra freedom and liberation. I honor and remember all our fallen heroes. I greet, honor, and pray for our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as we fight for his release and Biafra freedom. The will of Biafrans. Our Prime Minister, His Excellency Mazi Simon Èkpá, the voice of Biafrans, is standing on the will of Biafrans who have given him the mandate to be a Prime Minister. Mandate given to him by voting him a Prime Minister. Mandate given to him by the will of Biafrans to sit at home for the release of our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and Biafra freedom. Mandate given to him by the will of Biafrans not to take orders from delegitimized Nigerian servants in Biafraland who are serving the interests of their terrorist masters. Therefore, Nigeria propaganda and mischaracterization of facts cannot dampen the spirit and the will of Biafrans. The most monumental lies I heard these past few days was on Nigeria Channel TV, when one of the journalists said, "We, the people of Nigeria, have done our best to keep our nation together." Could not believe that anyone in their rightful mind could say such, more especially a journalist. May I enumerate to you the best they have done to keep the terrorist nation together. These are their best. Supporting injustice against Biafrans. Journalists not reporting the truth because of brown envelopes. Marginalizing Biafrans, merciless killings and massacring of Biafrans unprovoked. Destroying Biafrans' properties and businesses. They've done their best by keeping Biafra under siege, while the terrorist Fulani is having field days, killing Christians in the north and all over Nigeria. They've done their best by deploying army, police on more than 1,000 checkpoints, which have become killing fields, dens of extortion, and army kidnappings. So not telling the world that Nigeria is a terrorist country, and Musa not even telling the world that they're friends outside. But for a long time, they have declared war on us, and they've been hiding it under the rug from the international community. So now we are simply saying that defending ourselves as a self-preservation is a must. Self-preservation of life is a must and must be protected and preserved at all costs. Nigeria and democracy. Nigeria and the word democracy should not and cannot be in the same sentence, because Nigeria is a terrorist country and Nigeria has violated all international laws. Let's take a look at Nigerian democracy. In Nigerian democracy, there is no fairness, equity, and justice for Biafrans. Freedom of speech is a crime. Self-defense is a crime. Victims are branded perpetrators, while Fulani terrorists are referred as angels. Cows are first citizens and they have immunity and power to destroy crops, while their herders maim, rape, and kill our women in the farm. In Nigeria democracy, protest is a crime. As you can see, some of the NSAS protesters and many or thousands of IPOB members are being held under inhuman conditions, and their whereabouts are still, of some of them are still unknown. The world must know that to free Biafra from Nigerian bondage is a task that must be done. A Nigerian terrorist government must understand that truth, facts, and the will of Biafrans are mightier than their barrels of gun, propaganda, and lies. On this note, I welcome to America our PM, His Excellency Mazi Simon Èkpá, Obatobie the finisher, our voice for freedom, to touch light on all he is doing for our liberation and freedom. Once again, I say welcome to you, my Prime Minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rep. Diana, for that, for keeping to the time. Very, very important. I wouldn't waste much time. I would like to use this opportunity to introduce to the Biafrans in the United States our lobbyists who are present here. The reason for this is that it is very, very imperative that Biafrans in the United States understand the level we have gone. Like I've said in the past, that we are following and fighting for the liberation of Biafra with what are called multi-dimensional approach. The multi-dimensional approach includes political approach, diplomatic approach, and of course, the armed defense for self-defense approach. It is very important and very necessary that as we pursue our freedom from Nigeria, we also protect those whom we are liberating from Nigeria. In the past, we've seen many Biafra movements that under their watch, many Biafrans were murdered in cold blood and without any consequences on the Nigeria side. So what we are doing different this time around is not just about defending ourselves by activating the internationally recognized law of self-defense, but also we are pursuing our freedom diplomatically, politically, and otherwise. So on this note, I welcome Honorable Jim Moran and Elias, who will be here today just to greet Biafrans in the United States and introduce themselves as officially as lobbyists for the Biafra Public Government in Exile in Washington, D.C. Please put them on the screen, both of them. If they have somebody else, you can bring all of them on the screen, please. Jean Moran, can give him access to mute.
I've made them co-host, both of them,
right.
So they can.
All right. Thank you very much. And
well, thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Jim Moran. I served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. After I left the Congress, I began to represent some corporations and countries and causes that I believe in. It has been an honor to work with you, Your Excellency. Elias Gerasoulis is my partner. This is primarily Elias's account, but I'm going to be working with him. While I was in the Congress, I was on the committee that funds defense and State Department foreign operations, as well as the Foreign Relations Committee. I have an interest in Africa. I was a principal co-sponsor of the African Growth and Opportunity Act. But most importantly, I do believe that Biafran independence is a just and noble cause. And I trust that you have a bright future ahead. We will try to secure your independence. We can't promise because the politics is not a particularly predictable situation in the United States today, and justice is not always served, but we will work towards that objective. I appreciate the opportunity to work on behalf of the Biafran people. And at this point, let me turn it over to Elias. Elias?
Oh, thank you, Jim. And it's an honor to be working with you on this. And we appreciate your lending, your support, someone of your prestige and stature. That association would be so critical. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, and dear Biafrans in the United States and around the world. My name is Elias Yarsulis, and I am a good friend and colleague of Congressman Moran, and we are your new lobbyists here in Washington, D.C. However, you should know that we are more than just your lobbyists. We are fellow freedom fighters in the struggle for the liberation of Biafra. And similar to how your compatriots in the Biafran Defense Forces are securing your freedom on the homeland, we will be fighting for your freedom in the political and diplomatic battlefield here in Washington, D.C. And we will make sure that all these U.S. officials, all these congressmen and senators understand that the Biafran independence movement is a pure democratic civilian uprising against injustice, the very same one that we had in the United States when we declared our independence from the British 200 years ago. On a personal level, I knew I had to get involved in this struggle, not only because of my belief in the Biafran cause, but my belief in His Excellency, the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. As I got to know the Prime Minister, I could see that he has remarkable leadership qualities and vision. And I knew that instinctively that he was a man of destiny and that he will have a very important impact in Africa in the years to come. And I thought it was a personal duty to assist him. Already, the Prime Minister has made remarkable progress and has outsmarted the Nigerian system in many ways. The Prime Minister has done this with the self-referendum. He has done this with opening diplomatic liaison offices around the world. And I think by establishing a proper Biafran lobby in Washington, D.C., the Prime Minister has delivered his master stroke. And if you can look at the Nigerian media and the social media, you will see that this is something that's been highly publicized. And I think this is because they understand the moment that the United States starts to gain more support for the Biafran cause, it will be a game changer. Because when the United States leads, other countries follow. Congressman Moran and myself are your voice to the U.S. Congress, your voice to the White House, your voice to the State Department, your voice to the highest offices in this great land. And we will not stop until victory is achieved. Long live a free, independent, and sovereign Biafra. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that brilliant speech there. Elias, we are happy to have you on board, and we have a lot of things to do together. Thank you. This particular appearance today is just to present you to the Biafrans in the United States. As I made my promise, I have fulfilled it. It is now that we go out there and do what we know how to do best.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It's our honor, and we look forward to serving you in the cause. Should Congressman Moran and myself exit the Zoom now, or should we stay on?
Yeah, you can. You can all exit. I think we are good with this, and then we are going to see again, like we discussed before, when the time comes.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It was a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Chimora. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
All right. I think thank you very much. And this is I think I will leave it for when it's time for my speech. So the program can continue. That one.
Okay.